Today and tomorrow, I am going on a journey to 5 different free little libraries because I have 4 books and 2 magazines that I want to trade for different books and to read something new. So I'm excited to see what my local community has to offer and how cute these free little libraries are going to be. So these are the books and magazines I have. I have Seize the Moment, which is a little small book. I have Emotional Intelligence, which I had to read for work, and since I already read it, I feel like someone else can use it now. I accidentally bought this book, and it's the 3rd book in the series, not the first one, and I love this series, but I would prefer to have the 1st book and not the 3rd book. This is the Misty Copeland Young Readers Edition, which I really enjoyed reading, and my cousin also read it, so it's been really great, and I think I would like someone else to be able to read this as well. And then I have 2 magazines, which I'm going to count as one. One is from the Des Moines Botanical Gardens, and this is for the Nature Conservatory, and I thought I might trade this in for a small book. I took all of my original books and magazines and traded them for these books. And here are the books I got. I got John Grisham's The Firm, which I have actually never physically read one of his books, but I have listened to a few of his audiobooks on long trips with my family, and I found the books really interesting. I haven't heard or read this book before, so I'm interested to check it out. The Scarlet Letter. Now, my sister, growing up, actually owned a copy of this book, but I never read it because I knew what the story was about. And I believe, not sure, but I do believe I have been to Nathaniel Hawthorne's house. And so I think it's only fair if I read the book. I got the Emerald Atlas, which this book is definitely geared towards kids, but I love reading kids' books because it's so easy to read and oftentimes it's really fun. And so it's just something that you can just relax and read, and it's nothing like heavy that you really have to put a lot of effort into. So I do like reading kids' books or young adult books. Sometimes though, it can be a little bit weird if the character is like 17 and they're in a romantic relationship, and then the main character, who's a dude, you're like, well, I really like the main character, but he's 17. So geared towards slightly older audience is The Queen's Accomplice, which actually I looked up this book when I was at the Free Little Library because there were a lot of books I was trying to decide between, and this one had the best ratings out of the 3 books I was looking at, so that's the reason why I grabbed this one. This is The Rift Zone, which is a poetry book, and this is an advanced reader's copy, which means that this isn't actually the final product of the book. This was given to someone before the edits for the final product were done. So this book is not complete. I have actually read, I think, about 40 pages of this. I like poetry, but not necessarily this type of poetry. My sister also likes poetry. I'm gonna see if she would like this book, and if she doesn't, I think I am going to pass it along and trade it out for another book at the Free Little Library. And the final book that I got is Girl Stop Apologizing. I don't read self-help books very often. In fact, I'm not a huge non-fiction book reader. It's just not my favorite genre. And I have been going through a book that I really enjoy, but it just takes me so long because it is non-fiction. So I picked this book up. It might take me like 2 years to complete it, but hopefully it'll be worth it. So here are a few pros about going to the Free Little Library. As opposed to going to a regular library where you have to turn your books back in at a certain time, the Free Little Library allows you the opportunity to check out a book for as long as you want or keep it. I definitely think that's a plus because, like I said, some of these books, it's gonna take me a while to read. And something else I like about this is that maybe I don't want to read the Scarlet Letter right now, but I'll have it in my house and I can pick it up when I want to read it. Another pro about the Free Little Library is if you truly enjoy the book that you've read, then you can pass it along to someone else who might enjoy that book as well. For me, I don't have anybody in the area that I would pass along books to, so by being able to pass them back to the community, I think that's a great way to share the books that I love. The third benefit of Free Little Libraries that I saw was that it gave me a more intimate look into the communities that I went into. Most of these Free Little Libraries are placed in people's own backyards, and I think it's a great way to explore your community a little bit better because you're taking the time to stop, you're taking the time to look at the books there and get a feel for that community. And for me personally, it brought me to places that I would never go. So there are a few downsides to the Free Little Library, and that is, for this project, I had the specific purpose of wanting to trade the books I already had for books that I would be interested in. And I did go to quite a few Free Little Libraries in order to find books that I actually wanted. And the main reason for that was because a lot of the Free Little Libraries were geared towards kids, which makes total sense. Kids are growing out of books, maybe they're no longer interested in their baby books, they want something a little bit more advanced. In that regard, I think this is something that I would definitely utilize in the future if I have children, and I think it's something that I would love to explore down the road. But as an adult, someone who's interested in young adult fiction, it can be a little bit more difficult because there seemed to only be a few genres, which was children and thriller. Like, those were the consistent book genres that I saw across every single Free Little Library I went to. Another downside about Free Little Libraries is that some of the ones I went to, as I mentioned, were in residential areas, and that could cause a little bit of a problem because there weren't a lot of parking spaces or parking available in that area. So in a few cases, I actually had to park my car elsewhere and walk to them, which could cause some complications for some people. Overall, I think the Free Little Library experiment was really fun, and I have a lot of great books that I'm looking forward to reading or passing along to other people, and I can't wait to go back into the community and trade out these books for books in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!